Welcome everybody to this Soul and Social. My name is Tara and I'm here today with my fabulous co-host Renee. And we are joined by an amazing guest, Kristi Deer. Woo, woo. Welcome, girl.
Hi everyone.
So excited to have you here today. I'm super honored. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about Kristi for a second, and then we're just going to dive in and have a really fun conversation. I actually bumped into Kristi when I first hopped on my online journey a couple years ago. And at the time, she was all about mindset. So Kristi, she is a mindset mentor. She's a success coach. She's an author, a speaker, and she works with purpose-driven female entrepreneurs that are ready to step into their spotlight, build their successful and fulfilling businesses, and stop playing small. She teaches her clients to bust through their money blocks once and for all to allow real abundance into their lives and become more clear about what they want and confident in what they do to make themselves, to take themselves to the heights that they are ready for. So welcome, girl. I'm so excited to have you here because one of the things that I think is really cool is I watched you start off, like I said, I was in one of your Facebook groups and you were all about mindset. And you used to do these walk talks in the morning and I was like, she's so positive and she's so upbeat. And I've watched you now in the last couple of years grow this 7-figure business. And you got into, you brought some different things into your business, and there's a lot to do with, 7 streams of income. And I'm just excited to have you here. We have so many things to talk about. I'm just going to stop talking. Wherever we got you, we were interviewing, and I'm just talking.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us, Kristi.
Thank you, Renee.
And I love the hair. I was just explaining before we went on. All I can actually see on our screens is from Tara's nose up.
Oh.
Guys, sorry, Kristi. Well, Tara's too.
Hopefully some of you guys can see more of my hair.
I can't. I was just looking at it on my iPad, and I can see the pink. It's beautiful.
Okay, good. I can see my face. I can see the pink hair. Yes,
I can.
My thing. I love it.
It is awesome,
and the background's amazing. Like we have to do snaps for that. Like how can we not?
Thank you. Yes, got to have the pink in the background.
Yes, it's happy.
I love it. So Kristi, can you tell us just a little bit about your journey, a little bit about how you got started, and a little bit about your story and kind of where you do now? Because I've seen some pretty snazzy pictures, and you've been featured on Fox and NBC, and you've built quite an amazing business. So I think it's awesome for a lot of women entrepreneurs to hear this story.
Well, thank you. So kind of a long story short, because we all have our stories and our journeys of how I got here, how we've gotten to the places we are in our life. And it kind of started back in my early 20s, probably about 20 years ago. I'm kind of dating myself. But after I had my first child, she's actually almost 19 next week. I cannot believe I almost have a 19-year-old.
Wow.
But I had her in my early 20s, and I went through a postpartum depression and really didn't like myself, like where I was in my life. And I just felt stuck. Mm-hmm. And part of me felt like there was more, and that maybe my life could be different, but I wasn't really sure how to get there. And it was this kind of like divine download, this moment when I just felt like, if Kristi, if you keep saying those things to yourself, if you keep feeling like you're not good enough, that you can't do it, you are going to keep yourself stuck. Like there is more for you, but you've got to change your mindset. You've got to change what you're focusing on. And so I started pouring myself into self-development left and right. I started soaking it up, and part of me, I will say, got a little annoyed because I started reading things that, like, what you think about, you bring about, what you focus on expands. And so, sometimes, like, if you're in that place, like I was thinking, wait, I didn't ask for this. Mm-hmm. I've been praying and dreaming about different things in my life: more income, a healthier body, healthier body, more income.
Yeah.
But then another part of me felt really, really empowered, because then I thought, wait a minute, if what I think about, I bring about, if what I'm continuously talking about and focusing on you know, is what I attract into my life, then, you know, I can take more control over it. And I started to become empowered.
Yeah, I love that.
And that was the biggest shift, about 23 years old.
Wow. And it's nice. Lucky for you, you did it so young. Some of us waited until our, you know, 30s for the second time to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that, from that moment, I just started, it was cute. I started reading about vision boards. So I created my first vision board. And basically what that is I started picking out, you know, finding pictures in magazines of things that I wanted more of in my life. Maybe you know, to take a beach vacation. I wanted nice couple friends for my husband and I wanted him to have a better job, get promoted. So I started picking out things that resembled that. And I created a vision board. I posted the pictures on the big poster board, and I put affirmations on there, and I just started to try to change my mindset and talk to myself differently. And as I started to do that, things started shifting in our life. Well, first of all, I felt better because, I mean, when you're telling yourself you're not good enough, you're overweight, you know, how could you get to that level? You know, this is just, there's nothing else for you, right? And you're in this depression. When you start changing how you talk to yourself, and it makes you feel better.
It sure does. It's powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you feel better, then things start changing too, because then you feel like I didn't even want to leave the house for some time. I just wanted to stay home and be in pajamas. I didn't feel like talking to anybody. And so I started changing the way I talked to myself, what I focused on. And I joined a gym, lost 80 pounds.
Wow.
And I became a personal trainer.
Yeah.
And I think that really helped me because I started helping women start becoming healthier and feeling more confident. And I had that story, like I could empathize if people came to me, they just had a baby, or they maybe wanted to get healthier. Like I could empathize. I said that right? Empathize. Because I could relate, you know, because I was there, and then I could teach them how I took that journey to get healthier. And then it just started, you know, going on from there. I became a success coach for female entrepreneurs. And I did that. That's when I started my Facebook group, and Tarah said she was a part of it. And I just started helping women become more empowered and learn more about, you know, their thoughts and their words. And, you know, I wanted people to start believing in themselves and believing that they were worthy and deserving of maybe things that they never thought possible, and that their dreams mattered, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And I started coaching people and helping people to have breakthroughs and to find themselves again and love themselves again. And then from that, I actually, a few years ago, about 2.5 years ago, I actually added another revenue stream, and I joined a network marketing company. And I never thought I would. I said no to it for like 10 years. And I joined a network marketing company for an extra revenue stream. And that has allowed me not only to have that lucrative income stream, but help thousands and thousands of people, you know, all over the US, Canada, and UK learn how to, you know, create a freedom-based business.
I love that.
Helps, yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of my story in a nutshell.
Well, what I think is so interesting, Kristi, is like when I first came across you, I was like, mindset. I'm like, I don't understand what a mindset like coach is, or what does a mindset trainer do? And here now I find myself a couple of years later, and I've now taken, you know, meditation training and you know, stuff with NLP and rewiring mindset and this neuroscience stuff. And I have to kind of laugh a little bit, because I think it's kind of funny how I asked the question a couple years ago, and then now it's here. And yes, and that was one of the things I was really excited to talk about, was when you brought in this other revenue stream, because money mindset, that was like one of the things I remember you talking about, was these money blocks. And I think there's a bit of a stigma, like sometimes online, where this stuff comes up and bringing up certain revenue streams. And I love that. I just love watching you just go for it and just like, boom, excel. It was so crazy.
Well, thank you. I felt like there was kind of that stigma for maybe joining this network marketing company, being a coach, being a speaker, being an author, and then adding this as my other revenue stream. But I really felt like I kept getting, signs that this was really what I was supposed to do. I kept coaching people who were in network marketing, people who were changing people's lives. They were speaking at events. They were, some were writing books, and they were making great money and doing everything, that I was doing. But some of them were doing it on a bigger scale, on a grander scale. And I thought, why not? Why not? First of all, I needed better hair. My hair, I actually, because I've colored my hair for so many years, you see the pink, and it's not natural.
It's not picked naturally?
No.
And I was like, what's your secret?
Yeah. I had like dried out my hair. My hair was dry. It was kind of lifeless. So I needed, help with my hair. And I thought, why not? Because the company promoted anti-aging hair care products. Why not use the products, change my hair, and then share it with others? And then if people wanted to build a business on top of that, share that opportunity. Because, a lot of times we, as entrepreneurs, we talk about multiple streams of income, right? So most of the time, we're always sharing things that we love with others. We go to a movie, we buy a pair of shoes, we buy an outfit, and we're telling our, girlfriends about it. We're telling people about it. Oh my goodness, this movie was great. I got this shirt the other day at this store, and we're talking about it. So why not do the same thing, with our hair products and create another revenue stream for it, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. And it worked. And, there's a lot of people out there looking for better hair care products and multiple streams of income, maybe like a side business or maybe a full-time business, so they could stay home and work from anywhere. And it worked. And I was able to grow an organization of over 66,000 people in 2.5 years.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah,
You
right?
got the hustle, Kristi. You got the hustle.
Sometimes I'm like, wow, I know. It's so exciting.
Did I do this? Did I do this?
It's so exciting.
That's
awesome.
incredible.
Well, I know my mom is watching. I'm pretty sure she's watching right now. And she actually uses the product, and I want to say sells the product. And really believes in it and really likes it. And I was explaining a little bit about you to her this morning, and she's like, I've got to watch this show, because for so many people, they get into these, like the networking businesses, and they see people who make it big. They see people who are successful at it, but actually taking yourself from your intimate circle to the level you have, it's a completely different thing that you're not necessarily trained in how to do. So how did you do it?
Great question.
Was my question.
Great question. Well, I will say a couple things. I think our company, our company is only 4.5 years old. And now I think that they have so much training for how to expand your network and how to really grow your business and things like that. But for me, really, network marketing is a people business, right? And I don't really look at it as being salesy. I look at it as sharing something that I love. So I'm sharing about a product that has changed my hair. If you saw before and after pictures, you'd be like, oh, I got it. I can't even believe people let me leave the house looking like that with my hair like this, So it's changed my hair. And then I'm sharing about an opportunity that could change somebody's life. So for me, it's just connecting, it's networking, online and offline. And if I'm doing it online through social media, I'm basically just sharing my story.
Yeah.
I'm just sharing my story. And I get a lot of people reaching out to me just because of that. And even when I was starting out, even when, I didn't have the success that I do now, I was sharing my vision. I was sharing, you make a little bit of money, you can share that. You're starting to make money. You're starting to have success, right? Sometimes people think, well, I can't really share my story, or I can't really talk about the opportunity with somebody unless I make it to the top, or unless I'm making the big bucks. But really, if you've made any kind of money in network marketing, you've made money, and you're being, you're having success, right? You got to look at that frame of mind. And so I would just share my vision, my goals, what it's doing for my hair, where I'm going, where my mentor has gone. And that's my dream. That's my goal. And I'm going to go, I'm going to go to the top. And if you want to join my organization and my business opportunity, I'm going to take you with me.
Yeah. Well, I love too, how you have kind of moved. You've talked about how when you had kids, you didn't want to leave the house. You had these, limiting beliefs, shall we say, and how they were kind of holding you back. I was having a conversation with someone about this morning, and how we can get stuck in our own fear and stuck at being seen. And a big part of sales and social media is actually stepping out of the cave and just, here I am. Take it, leave it. This is me. And if my message shares something with you, then amazing. And I love how you've connected, a product that you love and a business and a hustle with, the alignment of your soul, and just sharing your story to encourage others to rise, man.
Yeah. Thank you. And one thing I'll say is that this really helped me when I started doing lives on Facebook. Okay. Anybody who's watched me do lives, you may not think that I was ever nervous, but I was so nervous. And I think a lot of times we go into things, even if we're just talking to somebody, or we're posting on social media, or we're doing a live video, what are they going to think about me?
Yes.
I'm scared that somebody's going to say no. I'm scared of, of judgment. Fear of failure, all that stuff. But what really helped me is to take it off of myself. So many times it's about I, like, I'm scared of this, I'm scared of that. What if I don't look right? What if I say the wrong thing? What if they say no to me? What if they judge me? But I came from a place of, okay, who can I serve? Because really, it's not about me. The reason why I show up online or offline, I talk to somebody, or I show up online, I do lives, is to offer, hope or inspiration, or offer somebody an opportunity, or something that, a product that could help them. So I need to take it off myself, and I need to say, who can I serve? This is really about my audience. It's not about me. I don't have to be perfect, and nobody really wants perfect, right? And nobody's perfect. So I don't have to be perfect, and it's okay. I'm going to give myself permission to just be me, to be real, to be authentic. And I'm just going to go into it and say, who can I serve? And that helped me a ton.
Well, I don't know if you've watched or listened to Rachel Hollis much, but one of my favorite things she says is, it's none of your damn business what anyone else thinks. And I love that, because it's so true. We worry so much, and it's none of our business.
And it stops us, and it keeps us stuck, missing out on our dreams, our goals, or being that inspiration to somebody else, because it doesn't really serve anybody else.
No.
If we play small, if we dim our light.
No.
You know what I mean? I believe that, our dreams are there for a reason. They're put on our heart for a reason. And a lot of times we hold back, and we don't allow them to come to fruition because of the stories we're telling ourselves.
Yes.
And, they can rob us of joy. It can rob us of success and our true purpose.
Yeah. No, I love that. I think that's amazing. I'll let Tarah talk, because I have a tendency to hog conversations.
Well, Kristi, one of the things I love that you talk about too is it is that alignment piece. And when you talk about specifically that product, I remember when it first came out, it was something I was actually like, oh, this is very interesting. As Renee was saying, because it is based, there's no, that's not toxic, and it's, it's got good ingredients that are supposed to do amazing things for you. And I remember that, and that was funny, because I don't know, we bumped into each other not too long ago, and I was like, man, Kristi's hair always looks so good. And with these lives I'm doing, some days I'm like, oh, my hair is nasty. Right, Renee? Right? Right, Renee? How many times am I like, oh, wow, it's throwing everywhere now?
Yep.
But now I totally lost my train of thought. But oh yeah, the alignment piece. But you know, when it's something like that you know is in line with, you know, your brand and things that you believe in and things you're advocate for, I think it's really super amazing. But so I wanted to just ask a question. What about like this money mindset block? Like when because you coach with women, I know you work with law of attraction stuff, and I'm diving into all of that stuff too. What do you think is like a big block or a big barrier? Like what's a pattern that you notice that comes up with women that that they need just even the awareness of recognizing that they have a money block?
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of times people don't know they have a money block, right? They'll come to me for coaching for something else, and then, you know, it usually is a lot most of the time about money, but maybe something like they really want to take it to that next level, whatever business they're in, and make more money, but they find themselves stuck at a certain amount every month. And they just can't seem to get to that next level. Or if they're a coach, they're doing like a ton of discovery calls, but they get a lot of no's. Or maybe they're, you know, posting online and they're not getting any discovery calls, or, you know, something where people have goals, but they just can't seem to get to that next level. Or if they do have a big money month, they end up going back down to square one where they were before. So they repeat those patterns. So my goal would be to help people who felt like, I know that I can do more. I know that I can serve more people. I know that there's a part of me that believes that I can make more money. I see other people do it, but I just can't get there. And I'm tired of the struggle. I'm tired of going upstream. Help me, you know. It's like, and then, you know, we would coach on discovering that. And a lot of times I think people may feel guilty for wanting more. They may say, you know what, my life is really great right now. You know, I have running water, I have food on the table, I have a roof over my head. I feel really guilty. I see that it's possible to maybe make multiple six figures or 7 figures a year, but that just seems too big for me. And I feel really guilty about, you know, doing that. So those are some common things where you can identify maybe some, and money blocks would really be like some limiting beliefs around money, some kind of emotions tied to money, you know? So it would be about, you know, having a different thought process and different beliefs around money that would allow somebody to get to that next level. Kind of makes sense.
It always amazes me too how when this money conversation comes up, people shy away from it.
Yeah.
Especially women. Like I know we've discussed with other guests in the past too about how as women, and you know, even in my experience, we're raised to not talk about money. Mm-hmm. We're raised to do everything for free, to give of ourselves. We are not to take. By God, you do not take. So it's this, and it's generational. Like it is the way we were raised. Our mothers did it, and it was an endearing quality, or seen as an endearing quality. So now all of a sudden, we live in a generation where women are breadwinners. You do have to have 2 incomes, and women are okay. They're wanting to stand in their power. They're wanting to be seen, and they're wanting to be, you know, paid for that. So but we still battle this little hurdle of asking and feeling guilty for asking for money for what we do. Yeah. So how do, and I know a lot of it goes to limiting beliefs, but for a lot of the women who haven't done this work, or, you know, aren't experienced in this and haven't identified these patterns from their past that are, you know, affecting their relationship with money now, how do you recommend getting past that?
So I would say if you want to start doing some things on your own, the first step is awareness, right? Saying, okay, I'm feeling guilty charging more, or I'm feeling guilty making more money, or I'm feeling guilty asking, you know, somebody to pay me for my services. It feels more comfortable for me to do it for free. Yes. I like to say you can do the 5 whys. I love that. 5 whys. And you can really start getting in tune with yourself, because awareness is all about, what am I thinking about? Right? Because a lot of times we just think on autopilot. So we're just thinking and we're just doing and we're just acting, but we don't really know why. We're not checking in with ourselves. We're just like, I'm doing this, but I don't like it, but I'm still doing it. I don't like it. So get quiet, get still, maybe, not maybe, get a journal and a pen. Okay. And do the 5 whys. So that would be, I feel really guilty asking for money for my coaching services or whatever it is, or I feel really guilty about asking for a raise. And then just write down why. And then allow yourself to feel and journal that out. Well, because, you know, it's wrong for people to ask for more money, or I don't feel smart enough, or whatever that is. Why? And so, you know, some of us, if we haven't ever really done that or gotten in touch with our thoughts or emotions, it could feel like a lot. It could be a very emotional time, right?
Yeah.
But it's really the best thing to do is to start thinking about what you're thinking about. Take your thoughts and, you know, start becoming aware of them, and start thinking about what you're thinking about, what you're speaking about, what you're focusing on. And you can do the 5 whys and journal it out. Maybe that'll give you some clarity as to why you're, you know, having these patterns going over and over, why you're feeling that way, why you're feeling that guilt. And it might give you that aha.
Yeah.
You know? And if you're really feeling like you need some support, you know, having a coach is great, because sometimes in just one session, 2 sessions, sometimes when I do NLP, you know, it's like that one session, they're like, oh my gosh, I got it. I'm good. I can work through this. I can have that breakthrough, you know?
Yeah. It doesn't take much for some.
No. I mean, I've had like one session, sometimes they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I found it, because we're just getting to that root, and then we're reframing those emotions and those thoughts.
Yeah, thoughts are powerful.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. And I told my daughter's in college, she's 19. And, you know, I think, man, I was young at 23 to learn all this. I mean, she learned all this at like, gosh, I'm thinking I started talking to her about this about 12 or 13. You know, she has vision boards and she's already written 2 books. And I'm just like, this is so awesome. But, you know, when she's having some difficult time at college, because college can be stressful, I you know, encourage her to just go journal and ask herself why, do the 5 whys, start journaling it out. And she's like, oh my goodness, I feel so much better just getting quiet, listening to myself, feeling what's coming up for me, and just you know, getting it out on paper.
Well, and you have all the answers in yourself. You know everything you need to do.
Yeah. And I always love this question when I went to a seminar, and it was like, somebody says like, I don't know. And you're like, I know you feel like you believe you don't know, or I know you feel like you don't know, but if you did know, what would it be? And it's like, wait, what? You know, you're like, but usually, yes, you can find that answer yourself. You're right.
Well, and it's amazing how friends can have, or, you know, you're right, friends, clients, everything can have questions on what's going on, where is this block? And as people, we can sit there and say, well, I see your block is right here. But yet to see it in yourself is just like, whoa, uncharted territory here, you know? So it is easier. Yes, it is. I love your whys, the writing down the whys, because if you were listening to someone else, you would be able to listen clearly enough that you'd be able to see the answer for them, or see the answer they've given but don't recognize. But yet, if you're trying to figure it out in your own head, we go from molehill to mountain, and there really is no mountain. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah,
and it's not as easy, right? Looking at ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be easier for us to have like, you know, oh, well, I know what you need to do. You need to do X, Y, Z. But looking into ourselves and maybe finding that, you know, maybe it's some pain there. It's something that happened that we haven't dealt with, that we've just kind of sugar coated, like, I'm fine. That's another thing. The need to be like tough.
Yes.
That's a big one too. Not be vulnerable. So that's a whole thing about like receiving and receiving more abundance and joy. Because if we have that belief, like, I need to be tough, nothing's going to hurt me, I can do it all, I'm strong enough, somebody says something, somebody does something, and you're like, nope, doesn't bother me, I'm totally fine, I don't need you in my life, like, I'm strong enough. That vow not to be vulnerable, that can block us too.
Huge.
From receiving. And that was me for so long. And it's not easy sitting there journaling and out, and sometimes getting up those painful memories or those feelings or emotions, but it's so important.
Yes.
And when I started learning about this and doing it, so I started doing all this with myself before I started teaching it. When I started doing this and getting out these old emotions and feelings and starting to let them go, it's unbelievable, really. But I started to have more success, more clients, people I would talk to months ago that said, yeah, I'm going to, maybe sign up for your program, started reaching out to me. Things started coming into my life because it was like, I'm clearing out the old thoughts, the old beliefs, the old worn out emotions. And now I'm finally allowing room for new things into my life.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
I love that. We heard it. We heard.
I'll let Tarah have that.
Well, and
yeah. I'm like, wait,
3 hearts are better than one. No, I love that you shared all that, Kristi, because I think that's a really big thing with, people in general, but women especially, I think, as moms, just being open to receiving the help, being open to receiving that your, abundance is available to everybody. And there's different ways of doing it. And, what's wrong with it? What's wrong with opportunities and trying things and following your gut? And like you said, coming from a place of service at any point, I don't think you can go wrong.
So.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I think it's awesome.
Thank you very much.
We chair dance now. This is the chair. We decided we're going to incorporate chair dance part of the show.
Okay, we can do
dance. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Robot.
Yeah.
Love it.
Thank you so much for joining us, Kristi.
Welcome.
This has been awesome. And I guess there was one thing in the beginning you talked about that kind of I ended up writing down. And you were talking about finding yourself. And I know for a lot of women, this is a big struggle. I know for me, it was a big struggle after having children and being married and just being a daughter, being all these things. I lost Renee. I lost me. And I didn't have a clue who that was. So, to end the show, I think it would be awesome if you could share some tips in your experience of, how to step back into yourself, how to find you again after having kids, after doing all these things that women have to do. How do you find you?
Great question. Well, take time for you. Sometimes that's hard too, right? We might feel guilty taking some time for ourselves, but what's really, really helped me is just, maybe carve out a time to go get, when my kids were little, it wasn't as easy to get out of the house as much, but take that time to go get a pedicure, pamper yourself, or just find a quiet space, and just go read a book, just go, dive into self-development, have that time, like I was saying, maybe with the 5 whys where you're journaling, where you're getting to know yourself, maybe book a massage, like have that, like, okay, once a month I'll treat myself to getting a massage or doing a manicure, pedicure, or whatever that is. But finding yourself is all about just spending time with yourself.
Yeah.
And sometimes when it's busy and we're mom and we've got a lot of things going on, we've got people pulling at us, asking us questions, and we're just kind of going through the motions. But when you get still and quiet and you just start really having that conversation with yourself, that you can find yourself more and get in tune with yourself more, and you just feel a lot better, and you actually have a lot more clarity and direction and confidence and things like that. So I would just say, carve out some time, at least every day, even if it's like 5 minutes, just to go like sit in your bedroom and be like, okay, get somebody to watch the kids and just say, okay, I'm just gonna like sit here and just like, get some quiet time and just kind of talk to myself and just relax. That can be all you need to do sometimes too.
I love that. From one mom to another, hey?
Yes. We need that time to ourselves. Don't feel guilty, because it's just like the airplane with the oxygen mask, right? We got to put it on ourselves first and then somebody else. If we're not charged, if we're depleted, if we're running and giving, that's another thing. We're always giving. We're not in alignment to receive. We're basically also telling the universe, like, I'm done. I can't receive anymore. I'm up to my max capacity. We can't think as clear. Probably going to be tired, worn out, maybe not as joyful, maybe not, as confident, because we're not taking that time for ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's really, really imperative to do that. Don't feel guilty about it.
No.
Yeah.
Shove that mom guilt away.
Yeah.
Shove it. Bye-bye.
Bye. See ya.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
And where can people find you?
Well, they can find me on my website, kristideer.com. It's very easy. Just my name, kristideer.com. And you can learn more about the business opportunity and my coaching. And I also have some free resources on there. I have free money manifesting audios.
Yeah.
And client attraction audios that you can download. And also, I have something exciting that I want to share. Also, Tarah decided to join me recently on this business venture and creating extra money and another revenue stream, I should say, and fabulous healthy hair. And so if you're interested in possibly learning more about the business opportunity or how to have healthier, non-toxic, vegan, gluten-free, products that are going to help your hair, you can also reach out to Tarah. I'm sure you know where to find her.
Our girl.
I'm excited.
I'm excited. Yes. I'm like, look at this hot mess here. I'm like, this needs some like.
It looks pretty. I don't think it looks pretty. Your hair looks pretty, but you know what? You can even, we'll get it. I don't have the fun of the products. Yeah, get it smooth, get it growing, all that stuff. So, so that's exciting. This business opportunity has helped thousands and thousands of people. We're the #1 premium hair care brand in the U.S. Only 4.5 years old, soon to be $1 billion company. And we're helping so many people have an extra revenue stream, create a lucrative business, and have healthier hair. So I'm excited to partner with Tarah and have her join the team and the Monate family. And so, you can find me on my website or you can reach out to Tarah if you're interested in learning more about the products.
That's awesome. I love it. And I will say your leave-in conditioner and your curl enhancer work wonderfully.
Oh. I know.
And I am the biggest critic, probably because my mom does MLMs. I'm like, nope, won't have it. So she gave it to me for my birthday one year, and I didn't want to admit it for the longest time, but I actually do really like the leave-in conditioner. Yeah. So, yes, it is a good product.
It is.
So yes.
Well, thank you for that. Yes, it is a really, really good product. And I know I said no to network marketing for 10 years, and I actually watched my mentor for over a year before I said yes, because I was like, I am not, I'm not doing it. I don't have any desire. That's not where I'm going. But, you know what I also learned? Sometimes we think we know where we're going and what's going to create success for us. We have our own answers and we're like, no, this is how it's going to go. This is how it's going to go. But when we really want to be successful and and when we're really putting that out there, we're asking for, I really want, maybe to reach this goal or have more money or have more joy. Once we lean back and surrender.
Shocker.
Yeah. Once we lean back and surrender and stop trying to control everything, you never know what doors are going to open up. And I think, what we seek, we shall find. I think sometimes there's an opportunity out there, but we miss it because we say, no, okay, thank you for that opportunity that just, showed up for me, but that's not my plan. My plan is to go this way. And that's what I did for so long. But once I finally leaned back and surrendered and said, okay, obviously this is where I'm supposed to be, because I kept seeing the signs everywhere and I dove in, then it was like the floodgates open. And it's like Napoleon Hill says in his book, Think and Grow Rich. Sometimes, you know, when abundance comes, it comes so fast, we wonder where it's been hiding all these years.
Yeah.
And I think that's just something, you know, to share too, that be open to the possibilities, because you never know. You may think that you're going to be successful this way and you have it all under control, but then you're not understanding why you're not moving forward. So be specific and ask, but also surrender and lean back and be curious and be open to, you know, maybe different opportunities or possibilities.
Hashtag get out of your own way.
Love it.
I love all of that plus more. So I think that is, because I think it's so true, right? And I think that's one of those things when we talk about when we are trying to rewire our mindsets is we have to be open. If we're just going to be closed and restricted and not open to what might be around, we might just miss it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
As I'm like, geez, what if I had joined her team 2 years ago when I started doing this?
Tarah, Abram.
My hair would be fabulous, and we'd be on the beach right now doing this live.
That's true, but you know what? I always say, and I'm sure you agree with me. It's like it's all divine timing. You know, it's like, what if I would have done this, or what if I would have joined right when I saw my mentor? Where would I be? But it's like, you know what? I just have to trust and believe that, you know, like you joined, it was the perfect time for you. When I joined, it was the perfect time. And, you know, it just trust and not have that, you know, man, if I would have joined 2 years ago, where would I be? It's like, this is the perfect time for me. It's everything. I love that mantra. Everything's always working out for me, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, I knew you would, but I just had to say that. For anybody else, it might be thinking that, because that's another thing. Could go on and on about that, but you know, like beating ourselves up. Man, I should have done this. Why didn't I do this? I should have jumped in sooner, or I should have said this, or I should have done that. That is wasted energy, you know, worry or self-doubt, or I should have, and you know, it can weigh us down and not make us feel the best. So it's just, I told somebody the other day, just say your name, say, okay, Tarah, or okay, Kristi, you know what? I am where I am, and that's okay. I'm going to bless everything in my life as a success. And I now declare and claim that I'm going to go from success to greater success, and just stand in appreciation for where you are, because you can't do anything about it, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Always tomorrow.
Always tomorrow. Yeah. You got the now, and just appreciate it. And you know, what you're thinking about and focusing on right now is manifesting tomorrow. So.
Well, and every step you take today is a step ahead of where you were yesterday.
Love that.
You know?
Yes.
So, yes. Tarah, well done.
Tarah gets snaps today.
Snaps.
Well, thank you so much, Kristi. And we want to be mindful of your time, but we would love, I'm going to speak for Tarah. We'd love to have you back on again.
This was
and you guys can give us an update in like 2 months as to like the millions of people you guys now have underneath you and Tarah. Oh yeah, I said it. I put it out there.
Yeah, I love it.
You're so cute, Renee.
It's super fun.
Well, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Kristi, and thank you for watching. Thank you for your comment. Well, we didn't get any comments, but you know, they'll come. They'll come.
Yeah.
We've had people watching.
That are coming.
Yes. Thank you for your time. Like, share, love below, and hop over to Kristi's page and get some resources and identify some of your limiting beliefs.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll drop the links for Kristi below. And thank you so much, yes, Kristi, for sharing your story. I think it's awesome when people hear about success, it just that ripples out and it creates more success. So thank you for bringing that vibration to the show today. And I'm super excited to mastermind with you a little bit, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So it'll be great. Awesome.
All right,
thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.